Hi everybody, it's Ori the fanfic guy here, and I'm really excited to get into a what-if scenario where Haku would have been convinced to join the Leaf by Naruto. Now, the entire what-if scenario is predicated on Haku actually surviving the events of the bridge battle, so first we have to make a few adjustments to how that plays out. In the original battle, Haku eventually loses to Naruto and Sasuke and then jumps to Zabuza's aid, taking a blow to the chest from Kakashi in hopes of saving Zabuza. Now, despite me really loving Zabuza's character design, he and Haku's relationship is utterly terrible. He uses Haku, and Haku in a way uses Zabuza as well. When Naruto defeats Haku, the adjustment we're going to make is how long Haku spends pleading for his life, as well as how Zabuza reacts when he sees Haku save him. So without further ado, let's get into this. Haku stood watching Naruto. He had spent the better part of the last minute telling him how alike he and Naruto were, and how in another life they might have gotten along, and how certain he was that this was the only way. But then another thought occurred to him, and before Naruto could grab his kunai, Haku quickly completed some hand signs and fled the area, leaving Naruto and Sasuke behind. Further along on the bridge, Kakashi and Zabuza were locked in battle still. With Zabuza pinned down by the ninja dogs, Kakashi was charging forward with the Chidori. However, Haku arrived just like in the original timeline, except this time, he was much earlier. As Kakashi charged forward, Zabuza had more than enough time to see what had happened. He took a moment to pause and think. For just the briefest of moments, it dawned on him that Haku was more valuable than him, and he moved to push Haku aside, surprising both Haku and Kakashi, who had slowly been lowering his Chidori. With Zabuza back in the way, Kakashi charged forward once more, piercing through Zabuza. The Chidori nailed its target, piercing through Zabuza's chest, leaving a horrified Haku behind. A strained expression took place on Zabuza's face as he painfully turned his head to Haku, who he had pushed on the floor. "Live on, for the both of us," he managed, spitting out blood. His eyes darted to Kakashi. "Not bad for a copycat." Zabuza's eyes went dull, falling limp on Kakashi's arm, and Kakashi laid him on the ground. By now he could hear Naruto behind him. Kakashi looked to the boy on the floor, still waiting for any kind of confrontation, but Haku had seemed to go numb, not really being able to process everything that had happened just now. As Zabuza lay on the floor, he slowly lifted his hands up in front of him to try and reach for Zabuza, and then he retracted his hands, sure that once he touched Zabuza, it would be real. He looked to Kakashi, and then back to Zabuza, and back to Kakashi once more, knowing that this was a reality of the ninja world. "He wasn't a bad man," Haku managed. Kakashi lowered his headband and nodded. By now, Naruto had brought Sasuke over, injured, and Sakura had arrived to check on him. Quick medical attention made it clear that Sasuke wasn't dead, but he was in critical condition. However, there wasn't much time to celebrate, as before long, Gato was on the bridge with his gang. The gang's taunts and demands fell on deaf ears, not realizing that Zabuza had passed and Haku was immobile, and they now faced Kakashi and the members of Team 7, whose mission had been to ensure the success of the bridge building. Once faced with the realization that their strongest thugs were no more, and before them stood Kakashi of the Sharingan, the thugs dispersed. "All's well that ends well," said Kakashi, turning to his team. Naruto turned to Haku. "Not everything. Hey Haku, I know things were rough back there, but I'm really sorry for the way things turned out," Naruto managed. Naruto's response seemed to breathe life back into Haku. I don't know what I should be doing now," Haku said. "He said to live life for the both of us, but I only ever lived for him." The group was silent for a moment, until Naruto spoke up, a bright smile crossing his face. "Well, I don't know about you, but you said in another life we could have been friends. So why don't we give that a try?" A confused look crossed Haku's face. "I mean, you could come back with us and see if the old man will let you come stay in the village." "Hold on, Naruto, there's a lot more to these things than just walking into the village." "Well, I know, but it would be great if Haku could just come back." He's really strong and he's really nice and he needs a friend. With the right guidance and help, he could be, well, I don't know, but he could be a lot. He needs us. Kakashi sighed, knowing that he wasn't going to get a lot more headway with his student. Okay, Naruto. We'll give it a try. Yes! The entire team flinched, hearing Naruto's chair. Well, what do you think, Haku? I guess it's okay. If you're willing to take me, I'll be willing to try. I don't know where else to go right now. Well, okay then, Naruto. We'll give it a try. And there you have it, folks. Part 1 of What If Naruto Convinced Haku to join the Leaf. Do you think Haku's going to have a huge impact on the Chunin exams coming up? Or how else do you think his character is going to affect Naruto and the rest of Team 7? Leave a like and let me know what you think. Take care.